My name's Paul. I play guitar for Cerebral Bore from Scotland. How you doing?
All right. Now you guys have a new disc coming out next week on Earache.
Yep.
Could you talk a little bit about the disc and how you got to this point?
We recorded it last year in Wales at Paul Studios. We self-released about 500 copies last year. We self-funded the album as well. Put out 500 copies, sold those, and then a couple of months later we got offered a deal with Earache, you know, like. But the album, like, we were like trying for like a few years to record an album, but we had a few like line-up problems, so we didn't end up doing it as soon as we hoped. But yeah, so last year we did it. It was out in the UK like about a month and a half ago in Europe, and yeah, out over here next week.
Now, how'd you hook up with Earache?
I clicked a link on the Earache site to submit your MySpace page as a demo, and I submitted that. Then I got a message back like within the hour from Digby Pearson from Earache, and he said that they were already preparing a contract proposal for us, and it was a really big coincidence. Like, and Earache were like, since doing the album, Earache were like, that's the only time I'd submitted any demo to any label after doing the album, you know. There was a couple of other labels we were talking to a lot whilst we were in the process of recording the album, but we didn't end up going with them. So yeah, like the Earache thing, that was like the only label that I submitted anything to after it was done, and then that was it. They were already on the case.
So now you're kicking off your tour tonight. You're here in Times Square.
Yeah.
What do you think? You're here with the tourists and the hookers.
I love it, man. Nice bit of Manhattan, nice slab of New York here in the background. It's great. We haven't really gotten to see that much this time, because like we arrived yesterday. Like, we've been pretty fucked like the whole time. So yeah, it's good. I love New York, but I just wish we had a bit more time here, because I've got like a whole list of stuff like from like Ghostbusters that I really want to see, like the fire station and like shit like that. Haven't got to see any of that yet, but.
Now, what's the tour look like for you? Where are you playing, and what are you looking to do on tour?
Tomorrow morning we fly to Dallas in Texas, and then we've got a gig in Louisiana, in Shreveport. Then we do like 4 or 5 dates in Texas, and then we're on through like New Mexico and Arizona. We play in Tucson, and then we play the Las Vegas Death Fest in Nevada, obviously, and after that we go to California. We'll get one show in Los Angeles, and then we're back to Dallas, drop off all the stuff, and then we fly to Mexico, and we're on tour for a week in Mexico as well, and then we fly home, sadly.
Now, I've heard the Mexican death metal shows are crazy. Have you played Mexico before?
We haven't, but I've heard the same. I heard there's pretty primitive pit action going on, some massacres. Yeah, we've never played there, but like I know a whole bunch of other bands who have played there before, and they all say it's awesome. It's like one of those countries, like there's a few of these type of countries that have got that really good like death metal reputation, you know, for the bands and stuff. So like it'll be good to go there. It's like one of these places, like Mexico is like kind of like Indonesia and stuff like that. Like we always get a lot of people like emailing from there, and they're always like, please come and play some shows here. So yeah, the Mexican one, like really looking forward to that. Like we've had tons of emails and stuff from people like who are coming out to the shows. So with a bit of luck, they should be pretty packed.
Now, what do you guys do for fun on the road? Did you get a chance to get out and hit any of the Americana?
Yeah, well, I mean, depending on like the tour, like this tour, like I booked this tour on my own, so obviously like I'm a big tourist, so I like to like get in as much stuff as like humanly possible. So we're going to be going to the Grand Canyon, we're going to be going to like Area 51, Hollywood, or in Las Vegas, Roswell in New Mexico. Tomorrow we're going to Dallas, and we're going to go to like all the JFK type places like Grassy Knoll, the Book Suppository building, like all that stuff. Yeah, so yeah, we'll get some in Mexico as well. We've got like a couple of temples and stuff we want to go see, but the majority of the tourist stuff we really want to see is in America. You know, can't get enough.
Now coming around, I know you've been to America before. You've done a number of DIY tours.
Yep.
What's your craziest tour story?
From America?
Yeah.
Crazy as in positive crazy, or crazy as in seriously negative?
How about lunacy?
I don't know, man. We shacked up for like 4 days with a paedophile in a cat piss stench house in Pennsylvania. We're kind of just like left in a house with like the guy was a definite paedophile, you know. He was like, he had kiddie porn, put it that way, and we didn't want to see it. But we had to be left with this psycho. He was like drinking all the time, and he was like fucking. He got tons of tattoos and like a crazy look in his eye, and he had shotguns and like trying to like force some kiddie porn on us. So like, that was pretty fucked up, you know. Like we had a pimp. We stopped to fuel up one time in St. Louis, unknown to us, like about where we were stopping, and we had a pimp dressed in full pimp attire, like just force his way into our van and pretty much demand that we drive him to his grandmother's house. So we did, but like the whole time, like in the back of the van, like, we're all sitting like getting like anything we can get our hands on, like pieces of metal, like fucking plastic kitchen knives, just ready for this guy to like try something, but he didn't. Like he was all right. We took him to his grandmother's house and that was it. But that was quite intense for like 5 minutes.
Now let's jump back over to the band. I know what Earache is saying. You've got one of the heaviest female vocalists. I mean, how would you describe the band for somebody who hasn't heard them?
Well, I want to correct that because I personally think we have the heaviest female vocalist, so not one of. And it's a biased opinion, but it's an unbiased opinion as well. She's the best one, in my biased opinion. We're pretty catchy, you know. Like we're not really. It depends on like if you really like death metal or not. But like, I think we're a little more accessible than like some death metal bands, you know. Like I try to keep like the songwriting kind of riff orientated as opposed to being like drum orientated the way like most death metal bands go, you know. Like you find like most of the time you're marveling at the musicianship more than you are at the actual like music, you know. So I try to not exploit like a certain instrument, if you know what I mean. Like in the band, I really wanted to make it balanced. So yeah, so with all that, I think that we're quite an accessible death metal band. Like we're not really like that hard to listen to. So I think anybody who hasn't heard this should give it a try because they might like it. Because it's alright.
Now this is going to go up after tonight's show, so when are you guys coming back through the area?
We're actually going to be back in New York in like on the 22nd of June.
Oh really?
Well, we're only going to be here for one night though before we fly home. But we may be back here by the end of the year. Like we've got something cooking just now. So we could be back. We could be back here before the end of 2011 with some stuff already in the pipeline. So, but we don't know. It might fall through.
Yeah, sounds good. Well, any last words?
Last words, God. Check us out. Check our music videos. We've got some stuff on YouTube. Enjoy the shit. I hope you like it. Check out other bands that we know, and a whole bunch of. Check out the entire UK death metal scene. Like there's like tons of fucking bands there that will blow your tits off. Check out the Scottish death metal scene. Like same again. Yeah, we've got it happen, but not many people know about it. So check it out.